Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to season 2, episode 7 of Career Girl Chats. I'm so happy to speak with our guest today, Veronica Washington. Typically, before all of my chats, I normally read the bio of my guest, but Veronica is very special because I actually met her in person prior to today's chat. So Veronica, I met her at a pop-up shop in Brooklyn. That's my hometown. That's where I'm from. And I was so impressed with her setup. I mean, everything was so organized. I loved her branding. But most of all, I was really captivated by the joy and her love for what she did. And she knew a lot about her products. So I am going to have Veronica come in and we are going to speak about how she founded her company, Bedside Body Bar. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining me for Career Girl Chats tonight.
Thank you.
Today is Veronica's first live, by the way.
Yes.
So I'm very honored that you are sharing this moment with me. I wanted to read your bio and everything, but I felt that it would be more appropriate if you started off by just telling us about yourself and telling us what led you to creating your company, Bedside Body Bar.
So my name is Veronica. A lot of people also know me as Nora. I created Bedside Body Bar because I struggled with acne as a child and also through high school. So I never, anytime I went to the dermatologist, anything that they gave me, it never worked. So I decided to just start using natural soaps on my skin, and it started working. And all I used was shea butter, like just the raw, hard shea butter. So then I decided to, over quarantine, just start whipping stuff up in the kitchen. And then I came up with all of my products and stuff that helps with certain skin ailments that people may have.
I love it. And I remember what you said when I walked up to your table. You're like, this is my quarantine baby.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yes.
When did you decide that you wanted to, turn your love for skincare into a business? Like, what was that thought process like?
It took a while before I decided to turn it into skincare, to be honest, because at first, before quarantine, I had 3 jobs, by the way. So I'm a busy bee. I love to work. I love to be active, and quarantine, I'm just like, this is not going to take the best of me. Mm-hmm. So I started cooking, and then my mom, she was suffering with inflammation in her scalp. So I started to look up different ingredients that help with inflammation. And I know that aloe vera is very good for inflammation that's on your skin or anything like that. If somebody breaks out, somebody's itching or any redness or soreness, it immediately almost like goes away. So then I started making an aloe vera oil for her hair. She used it, her hair started growing, and she loved it, it worked. So then I was thinking like, maybe I could make this into a body butter. And then that's where the aloe shea came from.
Which is what I purchased, by the way.
Yes.
It's almost done. I'm going to need to pick up soon. Did you always envision yourself as an entrepreneur? Or is that something that you once you started working on Bedside Body Bar, is that something you were like, like I can actually do this. Like this could be my thing.
So actually, while I was in high school, I did envision myself as being an entrepreneur because I'd done countless amount of internships at that point, and I was just like, this is not for me. Right. After a countless amount of paper cuts and people telling me what to do and people wanting so much from me. And I'm just like, I could work for myself. And I enjoy working for myself because I have great leadership capabilities and I know a lot about like business and just how to run things. And normally wherever I'm working, they end up giving me some type of leadership role anyway because they naturally see it. So right. I just like, I definitely can do something for myself to help myself just over quarantine and everything.
Right. That's what I'm always telling other people. I'm like, if you could do it for someone else's company, you can
Yes.
do it for your own too. Did you have any reservations in the beginning?
Yeah, I did. I was very, very scared because I
Mhm.
mean, it's skin care, and people
Right.
don't. Everybody does not. Once somebody is used to what they're used to, they're gonna stick to
Mhm.
what they know, and they don't want to try anything new. But some people may want to try something new. But I mean, I'm a brand new brand. I mean, I'm making soaps. This is what you use on your skin, and skin is your biggest cell you have on your body. So I didn't want to create something that people weren't going to be passionate about, or people didn't want to constantly go out and buy, or
Right.
just feel like they need it. So I was very strategic on how I created my products. I made sure that I didn't just whip up any type of body butter. Like my body butter is specific for specific it helps specific things like on your body, like I mentioned to you, my aloe shea. Like when you use the
Mhm.
aloe shea, the lemongrass aspect of it, it helps repel incense. And I've
Right.
heard countless amount of testimonies about that by itself.
Right.
Like people over the summertime, people have gone to the park and tried it. Did not put
Mhm.
on any bug spray. Just went there with the aloe shea on. Did not get bitten not once.
Really? Thank
I
you for that tip.
I even did I even did it myself. And I walked outside, I had on a nice little tank top and some shorts. It was the summertime. All my family was like getting bit up and everything was in the park. I didn't get
Mhm.
bit not one time because of my aloe shea. And even if you do get, like, even if you have like a bug bite or anything from mosquitoes, it's also good to use the aloe shea on top of it because it helps
Right.
reduce it and stop the itching and everything goes away.
Right. That there goes your next marketing campaign. Summer is coming, right?
Right.
As I mentioned, and as you're showing us right now, like I was really impressed by your product knowledge. What was that like research like? Like how did you know your products would work? Did you just use them on yourself? Did you use them on other people? Like how did that go?
So first, I started out with my mom, like I mentioned. She
Mhm.
was my number one guinea pig.
Mhm. Is
she,
mom watching?
I don't know if she
He's
figured
like,
out
you
how to
called me
tune
a
in.
guinea pig.
She does have Instagram. I don't know if she figured it out yet, but hopefully she is watching. But yeah, so I started using my mom first, and she would try all of my body butters, try all of my hair oils, and try my soaps and everything. Tell me if it's too strong, if she don't like the scent, or if I should tweak it or add something else. And
Yes.
it was countless amount of it was
I
a
think
lot.
that's mom.
Oh
Somebody say
yes,
yes.
yes it is. She said yes.
Hi, mom.
Yeah, and it was a lot of giving away. I gave away a lot of products, a lot. Like
Nice.
not, and people used to bark at me because I was giving away the full like bars of
Hmm.
product and like the full tubs of shea butter. But I wanted to know if it works. Like I needed to
Right.
use it over a certain amount of time because I want to know if it works. Because I'm not, I
Right.
didn't want to. I wanted to make it for a specific reason. So it was mostly that, and also just me researching a lot, like tons of research, because I mean I grew up in a household where I mean we always used a holistic type of diet or just type of way of life, and we don't really use like medication and stuff like that. So because of that, I also helped me like just know like, okay, I know turmeric is good for inflammation, so how am I going to incorporate turmeric into my skincare product? Turmeric stain. So that was also a big thing in the beginning because I knew turmeric was a good product, but then I had to tweak it again because I knew it was stain people's bedding and all that stuff. So I had to tweak it again, and it worked. So it's just all trial and error and
Right. Okay.
research. Yeah.
So let's talk about your launch. Like, what was it like? How did you prepare for it? And was it what you expected it to be?
My launch, it was a life-changing experience. I'm not gonna lie. It
Mm-hmm.
really was because at that point in my life, I don't really look for help, with a lot of things. And this is my baby, and I know how to grow this child. I know how to groom it. I know what to do, and I know everything that I know. I
Yeah.
created this. I didn't share my thoughts and my creativity with anybody else. So now, and at the time, the reason why I'm saying it was like training experience is because I dislocated my thumb. And I didn't know my thumb was dislocated until I went to the doctor. He did X-ray on my thumb, and he was like, "Your thumb has been dislocated all these months, and you didn't realize it." I said, "It was hurting me, yeah, but I didn't realize that my thumb was completely dislocated." So I ended up having to get surgery, like a month before I launched my brand.
Wow.
And when I got surgery, all I could think about is my launch day, my launch day, my launch day. I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? I'm a one-woman show, and I need to make soaps. I need to make body butters. I need to make this, that, this. This is the cure for a certain amount of time. And I just thought that I wasn't going to achieve my goal. And at the time, my goal was to build my website and have my website and my product and everything together at the same time for the launch on the same day. I did all of that with one hand and my mom's help. This taught me tremendously how to like accept help, how to just allow people in, because it's hard to just not be able to do something that you were doing just because of like a surgery or something like that. So because I had surgery, that didn't stop me. I was at my first pop-up shop. Not only did I also launched my grandmother's birthday as well. She passed away, and I'm named after her, Elnora. So that's why I decided to launch on July 18th. So when I decided to launch, I launched my website. I did a pop-up shop that same day, and I had on my cast. So I was doing things with one hand.
You will never forget that launch.
I would.
With that resilience, that grit, that's really what entrepreneurship is about. Talk to me about like your mindset. You need to have a certain kind of mindset in order to really stay down and succeed and stay consistent and, you know, just keep yourself going. So how did you keep yourself motivated? Like, what were some of the things that really kept you like, I gotta keep pushing, I gotta keep going?
The feedback that I was getting from all of my samples that I sent out and I was giving out, I received a lot of great feedback. And then I had a pre-launch sale where I took orders via DM, and I drove around to everybody's house and I dropped off their products, and I received a lot of great feedback. And after that, I was just like, okay, you could do this. Because before, I was scared. I was not going to release anything. I was not going to do anything. And I was just going to keep everything to myself until I felt comfortable enough to release Bedside Body Bar. But with the push of my support system, it just helped me to just say, you know what?
Yeah.
Just bite the bullet and just do it. So I did it and got a lot of good feedback. And then I have a pop-up shop. I had a lot of great feedback from that again. And like the testimonials really touched my heart, because everything that I wanted my products to do, people were telling me like, oh, I got bit by a mosquito and I used that cream and oh my gosh, it just stopped the itching. I was just so shocked, and I'm like, wow, like just hearing those testimonials was amazing. So.
Wow. The pandemic, right? You launched during like right in the middle of a pandemic. What was that like? And did you have any challenges because of, you know, the circumstances that we were all in?
I feel like it was not that bad, but the only part that really got to me was that I couldn't use both of my hands anymore. That really got to me, because it's like you just never. It's like you just, you know, people say you never know what you had until it's gone.
Right.
It's like, well, my thumb was like in a cast and I couldn't physically move it. It really got to me. I really felt like everything was over. Like I had to do this next year sometime. And and then I just kept on pushing and driving around with my one hand, dropping up everybody's stuff and just doing everything, like just by me pushing myself and by everybody else pushing me to just keep at my goal and doing what I wanted to do. It was just amazing, because I mean, if my one hand can't stop me, I mean, like what else can? Nothing. I just feel like nothing else can stop me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. As far as like the business operations, right? Like the website building, the pricing, how did you learn all of those things? Like, did you take any courses, or was it something you just kind of learned as you went through your process?
So I actually majored in sport management in college. When I was in a marketing class, and that's how I learned a lot about marketing and advertising. And I also learned about website building. I had to build a website that was about me. So I had a resume, basically a digital resume. So instead of me just sending you my personal resume, I would also have a link to the website where it further explained things that I did and have pictures and everything. So it can be like a virtual like type of experience. So that helped me with building a website because I didn't know nothing about website building. And if I didn't do that while I was in college, I wouldn't have had the confidence to build my own
Right.
website, especially with one hand in 3 weeks. Like that was a lot of work.
Right.
um, Everything else was mostly YouTube and research. Like I always say, I went to YouTube University over
University.
quarantine, and that's where I learned a lot, like from the basics of how to make soaps, and then I also purchased a book on soap making, and I started reading that book, and from there, I just was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to get in the lab, which is the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm ready to start trying some of this stuff. So then I tried it. And I was nervous, and I was so shocked that I actually made something that can lather up. I'm like, wow. And then I just kept trial and error, like I said before. And then also in regards to my packaging, I personally love old looking things and like old packaging and vintage type of style things. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna like package my soaps like how they used to like take boxes and tie it up with twine back in the day, because I just love that old look, and I naturally have an old soul. I've had an old soul since I was little, so it just all ties in together.
Besides the situation with the one arm, right? What would you say, just from a business standpoint, what was the biggest lesson that you learned, like being a new business owner?
I learned how to listen to my customers and take constructive criticism, because especially in the beginning, trying to create something that everybody would like, because it's also, it gets kind of discouraging sometimes when you hear good comments about one thing, about your product, about one product, a specific product, and then you hear somebody else's comment. It's like, so if you asking 1,000 people about the same product, you're getting all these different answers. Sometimes it's like, okay, I don't know, just scrap the whole thing. But maybe you just asking too much. So just
Right.
stop asking. But definitely taking constructive criticism was something that I learned to deal with and accept, because I mean, my clients and my customers, if they're not happy, then they're not gonna continue to purchase something just because they like me. I mean, if it don't work, it don't work, and that's not. And I really wanted my products to work, and I want people to really enjoy it. I don't want. I know family is probably the first supporters, but family can't keep buying your product all the time. You gotta branch out. It has to be worth something. So that's one thing, and also my supporters too. I mean, my support system was really amazing throughout this entire journey, and while still to this day.
Right. I love it. I love it. Let's talk about the name, right? Bedside Body Bar. Was that like the first name that you had? Were you like, this is it? Like, how did you name your company?
I was literally laying in my bed and I was just writing stuff down, and I said, I love Bedstuy because I'm born and raised here. So I'm like, like how can I incorporate Bedstuy into my company name? Because I mean, I love Bedstuy, so I want people to also relate. Like I wanted it to catch people's eye. So I'm like, okay, Bedstuy definitely gonna be the first name. So I think the first name I came up with was like Bedstuy Soap Factory, and then I think another one was, I forgot the other one, but I just knew that I wanted people to know what my business was about before looking into it. So it's like, that it's in Bed-Stuy, okay. You know that it has something to do with your body because this body in there. The bar part is like, I just felt like I wanted to create the aesthetic like I showed at the pop-up shop. Like everything, people thought that my soaps were pieces of cake. So, I mean, I wanted to be like a nice little cake bar or
They are
something like
pretty.
that. Like a little dessert bar
Yeah.
is what I was going for. And I just love the whole aesthetic of just Bedstuy and
Yeah.
just the whole thing. So that's how I combined everything together. And I just feel like every product that I create is an essential product because you need to that you need to use for your skin. Like you need soap, you need exfoliation, and you need to lotion up your body. So these are all essential products that people use all the time. So that's where handmade essentials for you came from.
Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned that like your whole launch experience was a life-changing event for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think back to the woman that you were last July when you launched and the woman that you are today. How do you feel now, being an entrepreneur for almost a year?
It feels kind of good. It feels good. It feels great. But I mean, at the same time, it's like I can't believe it's almost been a year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a great experience. It's been a great ride. There's been a lot of ups and downs. Feeling discouraged, trying to figure out how to change up, packaging or just create a new look or a new aesthetic, or trying to consistently think about creating new products, finding time to create these products, trying to juggle other things and your company, try to maintain a presence on social media, update your website. It's a lot of time management skills that I had to tweak a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that I don't lose my focus. Because when Bedside Body Bar first started, I was on everything. I was consistently putting out things and just making sure that everything was on point. And then when I developed another business over quarantine, it's like it was hard for me to juggle both of those businesses at the same time. And now I've found a balance, and I'm very happy about that.
How did you find that balance? Because entrepreneurs, especially, newer entrepreneurs, that's one of the main questions, that's always asked is like, how can I build a time management system so I don't get burnt out or I'm not spreading myself too thin? Like, what did you do?
It took a lot of like soul searching, to be honest, because I had to also reflect back at, why did I start this business? I don't want to create something and then you love it and now it's missing because I'm slacking. And it's like if you create a beast, you gotta keep feeding that beast.
Right. You gotta show up.
You can't just give up. You need to pace yourself. So on this day, this day, this day, I'm gonna do this for that business. And on this day, that day, this day, I'm gonna do this for this business. Or on this day, I'm gonna do this for this business, and I'm gonna stop doing this at that time, and then go ahead and start working on Bedside Body Bar. So, I mean, it's really, really about making sure that you write stuff down as well, because you can't just be scatterbrained or just try to do a whole bunch of things at once, because you're not gonna be able to get nothing done. You need to just make sure I feel like you do what you need to do, take your time, pace yourself, and just as long as it gets done, it will get done. But don't stress yourself out trying to get everything done at once. So,
Right. Where do you see Bedside Body Bar in 5 years?
I see Bedside Body Bar in a warehouse in 5 years, selling all over the world. That's why I see Bedside Body Bar, and just manufacturing my products in a beautiful, huge warehouse and just shipping things out, and creating also jobs for people in my community and just in my neighborhood, to be honest.
Those discouraging moments that you were just talking about when you weren't getting the sales, that you wanted and you were slacking off. Besides like thinking back to your why, what were some practical things that you did? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you read books? Do you, meditate? Do you pray? What was your pick me up?
The amount of sage, I can't even tell you the amount of sage I burned in this house. Because Woo! I burned so much sage and I meditated and I just made sure that my mentality was clear and just I just made sure that I did not have any other stresses or anything else pressing on me before I even touched anything. I didn't want any of that negative energy that somebody else tried to put on me to be injected into my products because I'm making it now. If I get flustered because it's a situation that may happen while I'm making my products, immediately I stop. I don't continue.
I love that.
I can't because that's not the type of energy that I want in my products. Because when I sell it or if when I like give it away or whatever, I don't want that. I don't
I
want
love that.
that to be in there.
You just dropped a bomb. Like, no, I love that. You want good energy, to be transferred to your customers. So you make sure that you create it in good spirits. I think that's very powerful.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to skincare. It's very intimate. It should be something that makes you feel good.
You're right. And then when you take a shower or a bath, that's like you don't go in that the way you went in that shower or that bath, you don't come out the same. So
Right.
I whatever you wash with and you feel it's like you just washed all your stress or relief away. And I want if I'm gonna be a part of that, I'm gonna make sure that your products are created with a special and heavy like heart. Like I'm not gonna create your products with any type of negative energy.
Your products are amazing. I felt so different because I normally use, I ain't gonna shame any products on here, but I wasn't using Bedside Body Bar. Like I was using another soap. I noticed like the difference that I felt when I came out of the shower. Like I felt like squeaky, squeaky, squeaky clean. Like, and then your body butter, it's so moisturizing. The jar is almost done. It's so moisturizing. It smells so good, and I love the hand sanitizer as well. Like
yes,
I love everything, and I cannot wait to buy more and more of your products. What is your biggest piece of advice for aspiring entrepreneurs?
my biggest piece of advice is very cliche, but you have to keep on going and don't stop. Don't let anybody deter you from your dream. If you have any goals or aspirations in life that you would like to achieve, just keep on going. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. Just fight through it and keep going and just focus on your goal. I found that by focusing on my goals, no matter what I decided to achieve in life up to this point now, being 23, I made sure that I just focused on what I wanted to do. And I'm so ambitious, and it's like I'm such a competitor to the point where I just don't want to give up. So don't give up on yourself, especially because not everybody also has the same support system, So it's like even if you don't have the support system, just don't give up on yourself. Because although you may not have the support system now, you may miss out on the opportunity to meet your support system if you stop. We just never. So I would definitely recommend to just keep on going. And like my mother always used to tell me, nothing beats a failure but a try. What motivated you to start your own business? So when I was in high school, I just did not like doing any more internships, to be honest. Like I was always given a lot of work to do because people saw the leadership capabilities that I had, and I was always spearheading something. And that's also with other jobs that I've had too, like actual like part-time jobs or whatever. And I just naturally could lead a pack. At that point, I'm just like, you know what? I feel like if I can supervise this amount of people and make sure that this little bit of people get stuff done, why can't I supervise my own stuff? Why can't I start my own stuff? I feel like we can all just work for ourselves as well. Like, there's nothing wrong with working for a company or working for people, but also just have a little bit of courage to start your own and have your own. Nobody can ever take that away from you. Because, just like the pandemic, a lot of people, their jobs got taken away from them because of the pandemic. and everybody was forced to go on unemployment or just was forced to just not be able to work throughout the pandemic. And it was a lot for people to handle. So I just feel like having your own, it just feels it feels more comfortable because now I know that I can always have something to fall back on if something else fails.
How do you market your brand?
So, to be honest, I use a lot. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how I started marketing my brand. So, I made flyers, and I literally walked around the entire summer, handed out over 1,000 flyers for my brand, to the point where somebody literally was like, "Oh, you Bedside Body Bar? Oh, I think I heard about that before," and they gave me a $50 donation towards my brand, like just off the
Wow.
street, just because he felt like I already existed, and I literally just started. So, I mean, that's how I started marketing. And then also I started hosting pop-up shops. And while hosting my pop-up shops, I you know, walked around. That's how I also was walking around, getting people to come out, and then family and friends, they were sharing a lot of my stuff, and my support system was sharing all my products and like just sharing me, my big announcements and boosting everything up on social media. And that's how I was able to get a lot of sales for my pre-sale before my pop-up shop, and then even during my pop-up shop. And then my mom, her job and everything, telling everybody, and then everybody coming at me and then wanting to order stuff from me. And that's how I started marketing. And now I just strictly do social media, and like just started paying for like promotions and stuff. When I put together my ads, like I'll pay for a promotion and get it out there for like a week and see how that goes and see how much that generates sales and stuff like that. And then like if that doesn't work, then I'll try to figure out another outlet to take in order for me to start generating more sales.
I have a question. For most entrepreneurs in the beginning, they don't have as much capital to invest in professional, graphic designers and website designers. So for you, did you do that, or did you do your website, your logo, all of those things yourself?
I did everything myself. Let me give you guys my secret, guys. I use Canva.
Oh, Canva.
So
That's my thing.
a
That's my
lot of
jam right
people
there.
yes, Canva. A lot of people use Canva, and I mean, I know who uses Canva and who doesn't. Like, I can just tell, oh, that person got Canva, because you
Right.
just can tell that you be on there so much. That's like
Hmm.
literally your life. I mean, Canva, they have a lot of templates that you could use, but because I'm so creative, I can't just use a template. I literally start with just a blank page. In regards to my website, I did everything myself, like all of the pictures that you see on my website, like before the rose water pictures,
Hmm.
I took all those by myself with this iPhone that I'm on right now, and a ring light and a nice white surface. And I just started with that. I mean, those graphic designers and everybody, they cost a lot. And
Yes,
sometimes
they
when you're
do.
starting up a business,
Hmm.
it's not easy to be able to like, I feel like some people want to keep up with the bigger businesses because they want to get big so fast. But I mean, what you can do, if you just do what you can do, just little things, I feel like at that point, you just gonna go up from there. Because a lot of people
Right.
felt like my pictures were professionally taken, but they
Hmm.
weren't. I just took it with my iPhone.
Like, I always tell my friends, I'm like, start where you are and use what you have. Like,
Yeah.
use your resources. And then another thing too that people don't often realize is businesses evolve, right? So even
Right.
if, the logo we have today is not going to be the same logo we have in 3 years. Not that, we're going to be changing our logos, but just how professional it looks, how more clear and defined our branding looks. Like, it evolves. Like, if we look at the PayPals, the Googles, the Amazons, and we look at their branding from like 10 years ago, it looks completely different from how it looks today. So I love that advice where you're like, don't try to keep up with the bigger businesses because they're like in chapter 32 and we're in
Right.
chapter 1.
And they
Like,
started
start where you
somewhere.
are and use the resources that you have in front of you, because all the money should really be going into like the inventory, the
Right.
products,
And
like
that's
your money
exactly.
makers. Like
Mhm.
use that money, invest it into your products, and
Mhm.
then you can start to hire
Right.
the
These
big
big
dogs.
people.
What do you do when you feel stuck?
When I feel stuck, I drop everything and I walk away. And I come back and revisit with a different mindset because I don't want to put too much pressure on what I'm trying to do now, because if I do that, I feel like I'm gonna get frustrated, and then it's not gonna seamlessly just happen because I'm putting too much pressure on myself to think too hard at one time. So I'll walk away. I'll try to do something else, listen to some music. My favorite song when I'm really stuck is "I Gotta Find Peace of Mind" by
Mm-hmm.
Lauren Hill.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
I'll
song.
put you.
Yes. That song really just helps me just find peace of mind and just think about things. And I just start writing stuff down when I do walk away. So then when I come back, now I know, okay, I'm gonna pick up where I left off. I think I'm gonna do this. And sometimes walking away, you may not want to because you just want to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But walking away and revisiting, I'm telling you, it works wonders. Also, don't be afraid to seek advice from other friends or, small business owners. Was it scary to start your own business at
Oh yeah, I
23?
see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was scary to start my own business at 23 because all I thought about was, oh, I'm too young. Oh, you know, I just thought about all the worst things. I was scared. Um, sometimes people were just being discouraging. And I mean, I just decided to just continue on my path and just start because it's something that I wanted to do. Another thing is, growing up, seeing your parents always working, going to work, going to work, going to work, it's like I felt like that's what I needed to do in order for me to sustain myself or just to survive. But then also being able to have like the influence from other people that's in my circle that's also entrepreneurs that's older, and this is their bread and butter, this is what they live off of, that also helped me, just be able to stay on my path. But then I also questioned myself, like, why, how am I supposed to stay myself, how am I supposed to basically get all the benefits that somebody would get at a full-time job by myself, working for myself. And it's something that you want to do full time. It's something that you want to do longevity. Or do you still feel like you need that job,
Mm-hmm.
or like it was very scary, and I'm still struggling with that to this day. But all I'm doing right now is just pacing myself and taking it day by day, because I know that I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I've been doing it for almost a year now. I feel amazing and I feel free, and it's nice to be able to set up your own schedule and just not have to commit to a certain shift or something like that, and you could just wake up when you want to wake up to make your stuff, or just setting your own schedule and just working for yourself. It's a lot of discipline, but I definitely was scared, but now I'm just ready to see what's next.
Absolutely. And I always say God doesn't give you a vision for, no reason. The desires that you have in your heart, they're there for a reason. There's certain skills and talents that you have to offer to the world. So if you have an idea, for a business, who cares what your age is? I mean, if we're keeping it Brooklyn here, right? Biggie and Tupac, both of them died before they could even see the age of 27, right? They were all over TV, all over, the radio when they were like 22, 23, 24 years old. But look
Right,
how big their legacies have been. Like, we're still talking about them till this day. And they
right.
both died at such a young age. So age is not something that should ever discourage you. Like, if God gave you a vision to start something, that means He gave you that vision for a reason. That's not by coincidence. What gets you out of bed every day? What's your daily motivation?
I just feel motivated to just work for myself. And I just feel blessed to be able to have the opportunity to be able to say that I created something that people want and that people know of. And it's not like just seeing my businesses blossom and seeing the amount of people that came through my life over the pandemic that I've impacted is just amazing to wake up and to just feel, appreciated every day just based off of what you do and what you thought about in your head, because and what you just decided to release to the public. I know I was scared and out of fear I released it. But I mean, you just, like I said, nothing beats a failure but a try. Like, I was willing to see if I was gonna possibly fail by just trying. Just trying. And I never gave up. Didn't matter when I started, just with that one customer, two customers, to now hundreds of customers. Consistency is key. And people are going to grow. People are going to grow with you. People are going to spread the word. People are going to share your business. People are going to share everything. If they like you for you, and they like what you're doing, and they genuinely support you and care about you. And then there are a lot of haters out there, and people like to say derogatory things via social media, or just try to discourage you or bring you down. But it doesn't matter. Forget them, because at the end of the day, you didn't start this for them. You started this for you. And I just always try to make sure I just say my own mantras to myself, just to keep myself going no matter what situation I'm in. And that's what really motivates. And also what motivates me is the fact that I know that I'm working my way towards financial freedom. And that's my goal. Like, I just want to live a free lifestyle. And my goal is to also, just make money while I'm sleeping. Like, just a couple of times by waking up, seeing, oh, you got a sale. It's just like have my heart smile. I'm like, wow, you finally got to the point where you could generate income while you're sleeping. Right. It's just amazing, because I also think about all of the businesses that I am up 2-3 o'clock in the morning on my phone looking, buying stuff. Right. Like, for just the thought that somebody was doing that for my business, it's amazing. It's just amazing. For real.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Miss Veronica Elnora, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I love your drive. I love your hustle. Keep doing everything that you're doing. I'm so excited to see how Bedside Body Bar continues to evolve.
Thank you so much for stopping by my table. Thank you so much for purchasing my products. Thank you. I really appreciate just meeting you. And you just inboxing me and asking me to do this. This is amazing. I really appreciate it, for real.
Yes, that's what us women, this is Women's History Month, but honestly, every day, right, is Women's Day. Like, we have to continue to support each other. We have to continue to collaborate with one another. I'm literally just so inspired by this conversation. Like, even though, we're interviewing, I feel like I'm talking to a friend. But these are the conversations that we should be having as women. How can we elevate each other? What can I do for you? But it was so fun chatting with you all tonight. Hi, everybody. Bye.
Good night, everybody.